Hello again, and welcome to our review of the top 10 performing systems for the week ending February 24th, 2017. Since last week, many of the same developers and some of the same systems remain on our list, but there are a few newcomers. Once again, my goal is to provide a critique of each system and to point out both risks and opportunities that each entail. Now, before we get started, pause the video and take some time to read our risk disclosure. Remember that past performance does not guarantee future results, and hypothetical results have inherent limitations which should be carefully considered as some of the systems we will be discussing combine both live and hypothetical trades. Let's get started. There are 8 newcomers to the list and 2 incumbents from last week's review. Number 1 on our list, Kappa DAX 30 by Guess Trading. This system, which was number 3 on last week's list, now occupies the number 1 spot. It had been traded live for 2 months in 2013 and 2015, and both months showed net profits. But the total P&L for 2015 and 2016 combined show high consecutive losses adding up to almost negative $30,000. And its worst drawdown, exceeding $36,000, is also concerning. It may be the top-ranked system this week, but based on this data, it would be wise to exercise caution. Number 2, Cirrus ST DAX 14 by Cirrus Trading. This may be the second highest ranked system for the week, but you have to put on the brakes once you see the metrics. My general take on negative live and tracked results may vary depending on a system's metrics, but in the case of this system, the worst drawdown figure of negative 30,658 is too disconcerting. Number 3, Trend for Profits by DKB Systems. Similar to the last system we just reviewed, the worst historical drawdown is far too great, in this case almost at negative $61,000. Also, the system has not traded live, so there's no additional live metric present to convince us to reconsider the opportunities presented by the system. Number 4, Geonosis 1.1 DAX 30 by B&B. Once again, we have a system with an exceedingly scary drawdown, this time a figure of minus $76,620. Has it traded live? It appears it did in 2014 with a modest profit of $241, but not enough to convince us to consider it as a favorable system. Number 5, AlphaGold by Sora Investments. Last week's number 2 system, AlphaGold gets bumped down to number 5, yet it seems promising despite its worst drawdown of over 16,000. The system hasn't traded live yet. The stats look decent, and its tracked results seem positive for anyone who wants to be one of its early adopters. Just be sure you are aware of its drawdown if you were to use that as a benchmark or risk limit. Last week's number 1 system is this week's number 6, Gold Driver by Rising Group. This system, which started trading live at the beginning of this year, is to date net positive. Both profit factor and hypothetical performance seem promising. It just has a notable worst drawdown of 15,810. Other than this figure, and we don't know if future drawdowns will get near or even exceed it, it seems like a favorable system. Just remember to exercise discretion when selecting any favorable systems. Number 7 on our list, Galaxy Box DAX 30. This system is a tough one to evaluate. The tracked P&L is net positive. It traded once live in 2016 and sustained a loss that was close to its worst drawdown. There's really nothing notable about the profit factor or winning session percentage. I'll leave this one up to you. Number 8, Berlin RFQ 5 by AI Trading. This system occupied the number 5 spot last week and has been on our list for the last 3 weeks. I'm very skeptical about this system. Exceedingly high drawdown, volatile distribution of annual profits and losses, negative live and tracked results, and a 3-year declining equity curve are the reasons I'm concerned about any metrics, any total performance metrics supporting its potential favorability. Number 9, Rossi Long Midcap by Trading Motion. This is another system that doesn't have any compelling data to point out. The track P&L is net positive, the live P&L is negative, the worst drawdown is high but not exceedingly high, profit factor and percentage of winning sessions are about average. You may think otherwise, so take a look at it yourself, and if you decide that it's a favorable system, again, exercise caution. And finally, last on our list is Cirrus ST Mini Midcap by Cirrus Trading. This system started tracking in April of 2016. To date, both tracked and live results show a loss. Let's take a look at its performance. You'll notice that all of the results seemed profitable until it started getting tracked. So whether you think this is a potentially favorable system or unfavorable system, I'll leave that up to you. Be sure to look at the metrics and, as always, exercise caution. So that wraps up our weekly Top 10 review. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email at team@halifaxamerica.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week for the next review.